Imagine standing at the edge of the ocean during sunrise, the waves of the sea before you, the sky bursting into light above you, and your own heart quietly pulsing in awe of the scene. In that moment, where exactly do you end and the world begin? The 20th century philosopher-theologian Raimon Panikkar would say that in such a moment, the line between self, world, and God dissolves, not because you're lost in fantasy, but because reality itself is not divided in the way we usually think. Panikkar's life work was to articulate what he called the Cosmotheandric Vision, the idea that the cosmic, the divine, and the human are not three separate realms, but three interwoven dimensions of one reality. Like the three sides of a triangle, they are distinct yet inseparable, each one impossible without the others. In this video, we'll explore Panikkar's remarkable vision, how it bridges science, spirituality, and interfaith dialogue, how it redefines what it means to be human, and how it invites us into a way of living where every moment is a meeting point of the human, the divine, and the cosmic. Raimon Panikkar was born in 1918 in Barcelona to an Indian Hindu father and a Spanish Catholic mother, a heritage that itself embodied a meeting of worlds. Educated in chemistry, philosophy, and theology, Panikkar never saw faith and science as opposites, nor East and West as irreconcilable. His studies took him from Europe to India, where he immersed himself in Hinduism and Buddhism while deepening his Christian roots. His famous remark, "I left Europe as a Christian, discovered I was a Hindu, and returned as a Buddhist without ever having ceased to be a Christian," captures the heart of his approach. Truth is not a walled garden belonging to one tradition, but a vast landscape in which many paths meet. This openness laid the groundwork for his Cosmotheandric Vision, which he developed not as a speculative theory, but as a lived insight born from dialogue between cultures, religions, and ways of knowing. He saw that the same reality shines through the microscope of science, the meditation cushion of the mystic, and the liturgy of the believer, different languages for one integrated truth. The term cosmotheandric comes from three Greek roots: cosmos, world or universe, theos, God or the divine, and anthropos, human. For Panikkar, these are not three layers stacked on top of one another, nor three competing powers. Instead, they are three dimensions of a single reality, like light passing through a prism, revealing distinct colors without ever ceasing to be one beam. The cosmic dimension refers to the physical universe, galaxies, mountains, oceans, ecosystems, the vast material and energetic web in which we live. The divine is the sacred source, the ultimate mystery, the ground of being that gives rise to everything. The human is the conscious, self-reflective presence through which the universe becomes aware of itself. To live cosmotheandrically is to see that these are not separate things interacting, but interdependent aspects of one reality that can never be torn apart. Without the cosmic, there is no human. Without the human, the divine is not experienced. Without the divine, nothing exists at all. One of Panikkar's central concerns was the illusion of separation, the deeply ingrained idea that the human stands apart from the world, that the divine is a distant elsewhere, and that the cosmos is just a backdrop for our lives. This dualistic worldview, he argued, fuels ecological destruction, alienation, and religious conflict. The Cosmotheandric Vision dismantles this illusion by showing that the human, divine, and cosmic are not linked by external relationships, but are internally related. Your breath, for example, is both cosmic, a flow of oxygen produced by plants and oceans, and divine, a gift of life sustained by the very ground of being. Likewise, your consciousness is human in its individual flavor, but it also opens into the divine through moments of wonder, love, or insight, and into the cosmic by being part of a neural network evolved from stardust. Recognizing this interwoven nature doesn't diminish individuality, it deepens it, placing personal identity in the larger context of the whole. Although Panikkar drew from many traditions, his Christian background inspired him to use the Trinity as a metaphor for the cosmotheandric reality. Just as the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit are distinct yet one in Christian theology, so too the cosmic, divine, and human are distinct yet inseparable in reality. This doesn't mean he was imposing a Christian dogma on the universe. Rather, he saw the Trinity as one symbolic expression among many, comparable to the Hindu Trimurti, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, or the Buddhist Trikaya, three bodies of the Buddha. What mattered was the relational structure. Reality is not a solitary block of being, but a communion, a dynamic interplay. Panikkar believed that the true nature of existence is relational unity, not a bland uniformity, but a vibrant harmony where differences remain yet are held together in mutual indwelling. This insight allowed him to speak across religious boundaries without collapsing them, showing that the deepest truths are relational at their core. In the modern world, science and spirituality are often framed as opponents, one dealing with facts, the other with faith. Panikkar's Cosmotheandric vision dissolves this false opposition. Science, in exploring the cosmic dimension, is not outside the divine human cosmic unity. It is one way of engaging with the mystery. Spirituality, when authentic, is not a retreat from the world, but a deepening of our participation in it. The Cosmotheandric view also resonates with cutting-edge science. In quantum physics, reality is revealed as an interdependent web, where observer and observed are inseparable. In ecology, life is understood as a network of relationships in which humans are participants, not rulers. This convergence shows that the quest for truth is not a competition between disciplines, but a shared journey of uncovering the same unified reality from different angles. Seeing the world cosmotheandrically has profound ethical consequences. If the divine, human, and cosmic are inseparable, then harming the earth is not just an environmental issue. It is a spiritual and human crisis. Exploiting others is not just a social injustice. It is a wound in the very fabric of reality. This vision demands an ethics of care that is simultaneously ecological, social, and spiritual. It calls us to live in a way that honors the divine in the other person, the cosmic in the natural world, and the human in ourselves. Panikkar often spoke of harmony rather than dominion, inviting us to move beyond the mindset of control toward one of reverence and mutual flourishing. In this light, love is not just an emotion, but a cosmic divine human act. To love is to align oneself with the unity of all that is. For Panikkar, the Cosmotheandric vision was not an abstract philosophical model. It was a way of living. It begins with awareness, cultivating the ability to see the divine in the cosmic in the human, and the human in the divine. This can be as simple as eating a meal mindfully, recognizing the cosmic elements in the food, the divine grace of sustenance, and the human relationships that made it possible. It can be as profound as moments of mystical union, when the boundaries between self, world, and God dissolve into pure presence. Living this way transforms how we relate to nature, to others, and to ourselves. It grounds us in humility, inspires gratitude, and ignites a responsibility to protect the web of life. In the end, Panikkar's Cosmotheandric vision is both a diagnosis of our fragmented worldview and a healing path toward wholeness. Raimon Panikkar's Cosmotheandric vision is a reminder that the divisions we cling to, between sacred and secular, human and nature, self and God, are provisional, not ultimate. Reality is one, but it shows itself in three inseparable dimensions: cosmic, divine, and human. To awaken to this is to realize that you are never merely a solitary self, nor just a part of nature, nor only a seeker of God. You are all three at once, woven into the very fabric of existence. In Panikkar's words, we are not isolated entities, but knots in a network of relationships. To live this truth is to see every sunrise, every act of kindness, and every breath as a meeting place of the cosmos, the divine, and the human. A trinity not in heaven alone, but here and now, in the very heart of reality.